Okay, I just got done with this CoastFI meetup because I want to make more friends with people who are into financial independence, retire early. And guys, I'm such a little nerd, but it was really good. There's so many people there. They said it's one of the biggest ones that they've had. It was our first regroup in a couple months. I took some notes. It wasn't really stuff that I didn't really learn anything new per se, but there were things that I wanted to look a little bit more into. And so basically the whole session was a case study. And by case study, it's really just someone sharing their finances and getting feedback on different things and different opinions. And I don't know what I expected, but when I walked in, I was like, oh, the diversity was lacking a bit, which was tough. I don't think there was a single black man there. There were a couple black women, I think 3 other black women, which is better than none. But it was also just really interesting hearing different people's thoughts and opinions on various different things, and getting different people's perspectives. But I think that there's definitely things that I need to look into. And a lot of the people so it was like, I don't know, 20 people asking questions, and whether they were clarifying questions or more genuine questions of like, oh, why did you decide on this? And then people giving suggestions and tips and sharing their experiences to the person who was sharing their finances or the case study. And so, yeah, it was really good. Just meeting people. I'm actively trying to make friends in the hobbies and interests that I have. So I posted a video talking about building my life and whatever. And so just really finding friends, because especially if I do want to I am pursuing financial independence, but if I want to eventually make that a thing where I am semi-retired, early retired, CoastFI, whatever, I recognize that my identity there is an element of my identity rooted in my employment. And so even then, I said what I do for work, and I wish I hadn't, because I'm really trying to not say what I do for work so that I'm like divorcing myself from that part of my identity now and prepping myself emotionally, because what I do for work, people are either like, whoa, or like, oh, it's such a great company. And that's positive feedback to me. But I want to not do that, not say what I do for work. And so I can just be me. I don't know. I think the whole US thing of like saying what you do for work is just a little bit too much. But yeah, got some book recommendations, got some event recommendations. Really just like, hey, I'm here to make friends. It was fun. Also, there is a big personal finance content creator in the Cincinnati area. There are a couple, at least 2 that I know of. One is really big, like 100 plus followers on Instagram. The other one, I think she has 20,000. The guy with 100,000 walked in and I was like, whoa. Well, at first I was like, I recognize you. And then other people were like, oh, when he walked in, I was like, oh. Well, he even said his name, and I was like, that name is not familiar. And then someone said his handle. I was like, oh, I know that handle. And him introducing herself was also really interesting. Also, just meeting another content creator. Well, I didn't like meet him. I didn't walk up to him, but seeing him introduce himself, seeing him interact with the group, seeing him like share his thoughts and feedback was also really interesting, because on camera, it feels very high energy. In person, it was less so, but I do think I don't think it's like a knock on him at all, but I do think he had a more commanding voice on camera than in person, which I think I've noticed with at least 2 content creators of having a more commanding voice on camera, which totally makes sense because like you were speaking, but he was a lot more soft. Same personality, but just like softer, like more like ginger than like, you need to invest right now. Anywho, so that happened. And then with the black woman, I really wanted to talk to all of them, but 2 of them left. They were mom and daughter, which I thought was so fun. They left pretty quick after, like not super quick, but I was talking to other people that I was sitting next to. And then I did talk to one other person. She's an absolute boss. Apparently she's like one of the founding members of FI in Cincinnati. Absolute boss. And just the way she was talking about all this stuff, I was like, oh my goodness. Anyways, so I was like, I had to introduce myself to her. And then, yeah, I got to learn a little bit about her. Also, someone drove from Columbus. I talked to her. And then the black woman I'm talking about, she drove from Dayton, somewhere in Dayton, which is, for those outside of Cincinnati, it's like an hour drive. Columbus is like an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. And so that was just like crazy. But I'm excited. They gave me a lot of events that I have never heard of before. And so excited to check those out. Just meet more people that are like pursuing FI. It's also interesting because people come from such different walks of life and so many different jobs. Like some are like teachers or nurses or engineers, just so many different things pursuing FI, and just like truly different walks of life. And some people are like, I don't know what I'll do when I'm FI. Like the person I was sitting next to, she was kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was like, girl, I know what I'm going to do the moment I'm done. Anyways, just thought I would share.